Hello, I'm Richard Trelfa, a Civic Trust Guide, and this presentation is about the city's coats of arms. So what I'm going to do is to share a screen with you. It's this one. And it's a presentation. For the Civic Trust by me. So here we go. It's the City of Gloucester's coats of arms. Our city has had at least 4 coats of arms and still has 2 of them in use. And I show how they came to be and where to find them. The story of heraldry began during the reign of Henry II, who became king in 1154. Some of you may recognize him, and his Queen Eleanor. It was invented because too many rich nobles were getting killed in battle and even tourneys. They preferred to be easily identified and held captive for ransom. There's a stramash. And with this arrangement, even a common foot soldier could become wealthy. Gloucester was the ironworking capital of southwest England. And when Henry II wanted 10,000 sets of horseshoes and nails for an invasion of Ireland, Gloucester produced them. He granted our city its first charter in 1155. Hence the city's first coat of arms. A version of this coat of arms can be seen in the Tudor rooms in Westgate Street. There they are, numbers 6 to 8, which is in private hands, but you can see it on Heritage weekends. Moving on to 1453, Richard III became king, having been Duke of Gloucester. This is his coat of arms as seen on St. Michael's Tower at the Cross. Note the fearsome wild boar. The next development starts with the first coat of arms. A sword and a cap of maintenance are added. He granted the city the status of a county, able to rule itself and raise taxes. Hence the sword, which is in the museum in Brunswick Road, and the cap of maintenance. And this replica cap of maintenance is in the Civic Suite in the North Warehouse. And the coat of arms is here at the entrance to Marylone. The next coat is called the Tudor coat of arms. The Tudor rose hasn't yet been invented, but the red rose of Lancashire and the white rose of Yorkshire appear together, showing that the wars of the roses have ended. The severed boar's head shows that Richard III is dead. But the quince in the boar's mouth is a symbol of love, the love apple. Who says Gloucester people aren't capable of subtlety? And you can see that version there in the courtyard of the New Inn. And this example is on the pediment of the Market Portico in Eastgate Street, behind the anti-pigeon netting. That's what's making it blurred. It's wrong because the head is lively and there's no quince. Now to the coat that was last used on City Council headed notepaper and on the road signs at entrance to the city. This example is in the North Warehouse car park. In 1651, Charles II was crowned King of England. For a new coat of arms, the city fathers reached back into the past to create a new image, very much as the Victorians did to create the Arthurian legend. All the way back to 1314, when the last Earl of Gloucester was killed at the Battle of Bannockburn. That's Stirling Castle. This is Henry de Boone, Earl of Hereford. And this is Gilbert de Clare, Earl of Gloucester. I've read a suggestion that Gilbert left the battle for a rest, and there was an urgent need for him to return, and he did so, in a hurry, without his surcoat and armorial bearings. He wasn't recognised, cut down, and killed. These are the arms of the first Earls of Gloucester. And until the dissolution of the monasteries in 1539, Gloucester was in the Diocese of Worcester, of which this was the coat of arms. What is now our cathedral was then St. Peter's Abbey. The two were combined, and the arms were granted to the city in 1652. With the motto, Fides Invicta Triumphat. Faith unconquered triumphs. This arose from the events of the siege by Charles I in 1643. Charles believed he was anointed by God to be the sole conduit to heaven for the prayers of his subjects. On the other hand, the citizens inside the walls had the Bible in English, and even if they couldn't read, it could be read to them. They believed they could pray directly to God. Prayers were answered, and on the 5th of September, Charles abandoned the siege and left to meet his fate. Faith unconquered triumphs. Now, there's a modern twist to this tale, because Wetherspoons have named their pub in Gloucester's historic docks after the Lord High Constable of England. The constable referred to as Milo. He was in the service of Henry I from 1130 to 1135 and became High Constable of England with his castle at Gloucester. He served firstly King Stephen and then Queen Matilda, who made him Earl of Hereford in 1141. In 1135, after persistent attacks by the local population, the monks of Llanthony Priory in South Wales fled to Gloucester. Milo took them under his protection and gave them what is now Hampstead and Podsmead. He founded the Priory of Llanthony Secunda for them. He was killed by an arrow whilst hunting in the Forest of Dean, supposedly by accident, and was buried at Llanthony Secunda, so he's probably with us. Milo's city, Llanthony Priory, his castle, the fortified bridge. Well, Milo lived before the age of heraldry, but eventually the Earls of Hereford, the Boones, adopted that, which I showed you in the slide about the Battle of Bannockburn. So this is the sign on Wetherspoon's pub. And this coat of arms is actually plastered all over the pub on the glasswork. It's the wrong coat of arms, because it wasn't adopted until 1652. However, we do have to thank Wetherspoons for the name they chose. There were many castles in England, and each one had a constable to control his hinterland. High Constable was the man chosen by the king to get the other constables together when he, the king, wanted an army. The High Constable had to have the highest military and diplomatic skills. Noble birth wasn't important. His castle at Gloucester, strategically, the most important site in England. It was the lowest crossing point of the River Severn. The southwest of Britain's iron ore is just on the other side, in the Forest of Dean, and the marauding Welsh had to be kept at bay. So thanks to the Civic Trust for training me, Sainsbury's mural in Hare Lane, which is also always useful, Google, the history of William Marshall, 1226, Phil Moss and his Wikipedia, and Phil Moss's book, Historic Gloucester, and of course, the High Constable of England. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching, and I hope soon to give you another short presentation. Bye for now.